under a bridge because they were busy looking for Jews who were escaping. So as they were escaping, the hiding under the bridge, they thought they were going to get caught. And then they heard one of the Nazis say, "Hey, I see you Jews, come out." And there was other Jews as well who were escaping. The moment they came out, shot instantly dead. So now Charlie, she's under the water, and eventually, she was there for a very long time, by the way. By the time she awoke from her sleep, she noticed that her mother was gone. So then she had to make a choice. She chose to stay positive, and she got out of that what's the thing, the river, and went to the same farm she was supposed to go with her mother, but they rejected her and told her that we don't want any trouble with the Nazis. You can stay for the night, but in the morning, if you don't leave, we're calling the police. So now imagine, and by the way, she's not, I forgot to say her age. She was like around 12, 13 years old as she was experiencing this whole ordeal. And she even said it in the book. I didn't want to think negatively about my situation. I had to address the situation. Even in the book, she says that if you don't want to deal with reality, reality will deal with you irrespective of what you think. So this girl goes from barn to barn, eating on in trash cans just to stay alive. And then she managed to find another farm where a local farm girl was taking care of her for 2 weeks, by the way. And that same girl got shot because of her, but she managed to escape. And she even said it in the book that you can experience so much cruelty that you can forget what human generosity and human love feels like. So she managed to go from barn to barn. She even started living with the street kids just to survive. Eventually, she got to go to America and find her peace. And when she got there, her husband told her, "Write your story." And she wanted to forget that part of her life because of the pain she had to endure. So it begs the question, and if they're hearing this story, how many of you are really dealing with your reality? This story was based on understanding. Are you actually dealing with your reality based on what you actually see or what you think? Most of us are really hurting simply based off the fact that we create what's the thing, ideas about situations instead of addressing it for what it is. Let's say, for example, I like a girl. Most men do this, by the way. They like girls, date them, and then they slowly start to find out that the girl that they're dating is not who they think they are. But the problem is with most people, instead of addressing the fact that this person is not who I think they are, they continue to create an identity about this person. One thing I realized this past few months, I was experiencing it myself. I was constantly feeling regret over a failed relationship, yet I was the only person creating new, how can I think, new experiences over a failed relationship. So basically, I kept reliving the failure. People, was something experience this, what kind of, what I think it's an anxiety or failure, but we experience the failure at least 3 times. First, the worrying about failure while the failure is happening, and reliving it after the failure has already occurred. So now I'm creating all these scenarios, and I realize, like, no, bro, let it go. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck in the past of a failed relationship, and you need to move on. Because if you don't move on now, you'll be stuck reliving it through other people. Most of us are not really enjoying life because we're still creating ideas about people instead of addressing who they are for what they are, well, as we see them. So ask yourself, when you're unhappy, am I addressing this person the way they actually are, or I'm creating ideas about them? Because if you're creating ideas, that's why you're sad. You're not dealing with reality for what it is. The reality of life is simply this: most people are hurting, and most people don't want to fix their problem, but instead want to punish others because of the pain that they had to experience in their lives.